It's 2019 and surprise, surprise, here we are with yet another open world post-apocalyptic game. All it needs now is zombies. Oh wait, close enough. This is Rage 2. General shooting mechanics and badass psychic powers do make for some pretty gloriously gory gameplay. The main campaign isn't going to win any storytelling awards, but the missions are actually pretty enjoyable. It's sadly so incredibly short it left me craving more, because after completing it, all I was left with was a generic open world map, mostly littered with activities copy and pasted across the map that managed to lose my interest pretty fast. The original Rage wasn't a masterpiece, it was a decent game that I enjoyed and I'd honestly happily trade Rage 2 for something more like the original, without the lazy open world design. Let's get right into it.
Big one! What the?
After an asteroid destroyed most of the planet's surface along with humankind, a wasteland is left behind, with survivors eventually setting up new settlements and factions. 30 years later, after the original game, Rage 2 begins with the town Vineland under attack by the Authority faction, a massive military power and your main antagonists. You'll actually have the personal choice between playing either a male or female walker, last of the superpowered and enhanced rangers. The post-apocalyptic world of Rage is filled to the brim with mutants, cyborgs and bandits. Exploring the desolate world, you might even be able to recognize a few updates or references from the first Rage game, which is a pretty nice reward for those who played the original. There is a fast travel system, but it's limited, so you'll mostly be traversing the wasteland with vehicles. More on how they play later. It's a little difficult to appreciate the visual world design when it's behind a very formulaic open world system, yet there are moments of good environmental storytelling, optional and hidden away. Some things that come to mind include discovering secret bunkers gone wrong from crazy science experiments, or coming across logs or intel that hint at buried treasure. These are good and help you immerse yourself in the world, but they're just too few and far between. The story really is, for the most part, forgettable, with a really sluggish start of exposition and cutscenes. You'll quickly be introduced to the generic evil villain, General Martin Cross, whom you'll see 2 or 3 times throughout the story, and he just utterly fails at presenting any urgency or coming across as any kind of threat. His objective is to rule the wasteland.
Swing on by, pick up your stuff, trade it for an ass-ton of Philadelphia.
It's not all doom and gloom. Outside of the open world systems, core gameplay is actually pretty fun. It even feels like they've borrowed a few smaller elements from the Doom series. Gunplay is solid with a weight behind your shots that usually detonates explosions of body parts and limbs flying in all directions. While it's really satisfying weaving psychic powers and abilities into combat to mix things up. You can get access to shattering blasts, super-powered slams, gravity-defying vortexes, and more. To unlock the various weapons and powers Rage 2 has to offer, you're going to have to find hidden arcs across the map. It's kind of a bit weird because they massively vary in strength, and it's going to be random what order you unlock them in. That is, if you ever even find them. It was a bit disappointing when I unlocked the final few weapons, way after the story, and having already completed nearly all of the map, making them feel a little bit useless and underwhelming. Fast travel systems are a bit of a double-edged convenience that makes the game world feel smaller and less immersive, so to get around vehicles are pretty good. You start with the Phoenix, and it's the only vehicle that has an upgradable progression system. You can earn new vehicles through reputation or personally driving back vehicles you come across in the wasteland to a city. I pretty quickly unlocked the Icarus, and once I earned this flying gyrocopter, it made everything else a little bit redundant. It was superior to everything for travelling from point to point, just because it could fly. Pity it's incredibly frustrating to drive. You can't reliably control its vertical height. It does this automatically, but really badly, usually taking you for a spin into cliff edges. I pretty much used my Phoenix exclusively to deal with enemy convoys. They're groups of vehicles driving around the map that need destroyed. Pretty fun provided you don't run out of vehicle ammo. There's racing too, but it's not that fleshed out and leaves quite a lot to be desired. So what does the open world of Rage 2 have to offer? There's authority stations, mutant nests, and bandit camps that need clearing, ranger equipment that needs retrieved, and meteorites rich with materials. You'll be redoing these activities in different locations all across the map. Generally, I found the best way of tackling these side activities was to mix them in between main story missions, just to try and reduce the repetition and prevent things getting stale. Every now and then you're going to come across a giant mutant boss. They're a bit easy, but they can be quite fun encounters. That's if their AI actually works and they don't just stand there. A bit of a far cry from Doom's brilliantly engaging boss encounters. There's a decent offering of progression and customization systems that do reward you, making you feel naturally stronger and more efficient the more hours you put into the game. You can straight up spend earned resources to upgrade yourself, weapons and abilities, while projects function like talent trees that offer some beefy bonuses in the categories for Search and Recover, Capture and Control, and Kill and Destroy. And it wouldn't be a 2019 AAA game without shoving microtransactions in your face. You can buy Rage coins to purchase in-game weapon skins. At least these skins can also be earned in-game. I honestly think you'd be mad to buy these coins, and there isn't going to be any sense of reward or accomplishment with what they get you, as opposed to actually earning them in-game. I do have a pretty powerful PC now, so I didn't have any optimization or performance problems. Specs my PC used in the review are in the description. To break down Rage 2's length from my own experience, the main story campaign is about 7 to 8 hours long, mixing a bit of side content between story missions, and you're looking at about a 15-hour game. While if you choose to do absolutely every little thing on the map, you can expect it to last under 25 hours, give or take a little bit. Rage 2 is only something that I can truly recommend at a deep discounted price. If you've personally not played that many open world games, you'll probably enjoy Rage 2 more than I did. I'm getting a little bit fatigued of the half-arsed formula. That said, I think there are games that do it right, like The Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild, but Rage 2 feels a bit basic and generic in comparison. I honestly want to say I like the original Rage 1 game more, but when I think back to it, I cannot remember anything of the story. It seems it was just as forgettable as Rage 2's story. I did get to experience a few bugs, mostly dodgy AI or really bad respawn points that had me endlessly falling to my death. That was kinda funny, but I don't think the game was buggy enough to mark it down too harshly. I do genuinely like the general shooting and psychic powers, but the open world activities just feel like a massive grind. I did mostly enjoy the main story campaign gameplay wise, and I'd be happier if I just had more of this. It's because of these glimpses of greatness that I can just about scrape an alright rating for Rage 2. I wouldn't mind coming back at the end of the year and trying the expansion, Rise of the Ghosts, just to see if it's any better or if they've learned any lessons. Maybe the reason the campaign of Rage 2 is so short is because they've held back content for this expansion. I wouldn't be surprised. Post what you think of Rage 2 or my review in the comments with a chance to win a reply from me. If you enjoyed my review, hit the like button or smash that subscribe button to see my other gaming content. Thanks for watching and bye for now.